Hi guys. Okay, so when we left yesterday, Mrs. Phelps was very happy at Matilda's progress in reading these books, and she had read all of these books. If you remember correctly, yesterday she read all of those books, and Mrs. Phelps was just beside herself. But she also said that she found it interesting that she shouldn't get involved in other people's children, and she had learned from past experiences that you shouldn't get involved. So then after she finished like George Orwell and Steinbeck and Faulkner and Hemingway and Wells and Hardy and Austen, Jane Austen, all of these books are like upper level classmen, high school level, and she's just a little kid. So Mrs. Phelps is really impressed. So Mrs. Phelps says, Mr. Hemingway says a lot of things I don't understand, Matilda said to her, especially about men and women. But I loved it all the same. The way he tells it, I feel I am right there on the spot watching it all happen. A fine writer will always make you feel that, Mrs. Phelps said, and don't worry about the bits you can't understand. Sit back and allow the words to wash around you like music. Now, a lot of times that's what I say to you. Let it play like a movie in your head. I will, she says. Did you know, Mrs. Phelps said, that public libraries like this allow you to borrow books and take them home? I didn't know that, Matilda said. Could I do it? Of course, Mrs. Phelps said. When you have chosen the book you want, bring it to me so I can make a note of it, and it's yours for 2 weeks. You can take more than one if you wish. From then on, Matilda would visit the library only once a week in order to take out new books and return the old ones. Her own small bedroom now became her reading room, and there she would sit and read most afternoons, often with a mug of hot chocolate beside her. She was not quite tall enough to reach things around the kitchen, but she kept a small box in the outhouse, which she brought in and stood on in order to get whatever she wanted. Mostly it was hot chocolate she made, warming the milk in a saucepan on the stove before mixing it. Occasionally, she made Bovril or Ovaltine. It was pleasant to take a hot drink up to her room and have it beside her as she sat in her silent room reading in the empty house in the afternoons. The books transported her into new worlds and introduced her to amazing people who lived exciting lives. She went on olden day sailing ships with Joseph Conrad. She went to Africa with Ernest Hemingway and to India with Rudyard Kipling. She traveled all over the world while sitting in her little room in an English village. So, that was the end of chapter 1, okay? I will start chapter 2 in just a little bit. Be back soon.